Paano nga ba magiging world class ang Pilipinas? At ano ang kaya mong magawa para mas maabot ito? And at the end of this video, malalaman natin kung sino nga ba talaga ang susi to really achieve this. Just stick around and watch this video until the end. Isa na namang nego-kwentong pangarap at tagumpay ang mapag-uusapan natin ngayong araw na to. I'm Ferdinand Danesa, your FN Station podcast host. This podcast is about understanding how an ordinary person, a long-time employee, freelancer, or aspiring entrepreneur can become extraordinary by simply saying yes to themselves and starting to take action. And if you have friends and families who need this kind of content, please don't hesitate to share and tag their names in the comment section below. And tonight, we will be talking about First World Philippines. So actually, itong phrase na to is very common to dreamers and entrepreneurs here in the Philippines, no? And after hearing this phrase for a couple of times from different entrepreneurs, it just made me realize na hindi ko lang pala pangarap to. Hindi lang pala sa akin to. But a movement that every entrepreneur would want to participate in this movement. Actually, sa movement kasi, meron kasing 3 components dyan, ano? So, sa mga hindi nakalam, ito po yung components ng isang movement. So, the first thing is you as a business owner. So, isa kang component ng movement. Number 2 is the future cost ng movement. So, ano ba yung future cost nitong gagawin mong movement? And lastly, number 3 is the vehicle to get there. So, paano ka ba makakapunta dun sa future cost mo? Ano yung vehicle mo? So, those are the 3 components of a movement. And this exactly why this podcast was born. I'm joining this movement that will contribute to make Philippines being a world-class country. So, paano nga ba yun? So, how can we really do it nga ba? So, paano ba natin gagawin yun? And this is my mission and purpose and advocacy in this podcast. Kasi I've been a long-time employee, matagal tayong nagtrabaho, nag-try din tayo mag-freelancing, nag-try din tayo ng iba't ibang klaseng negosyo. And through this podcast, we will be able to close the gap in helping dreamers, aspiring entrepreneurs, mga long-time employees, even the OFWs na makauwi na sila dito sa Pilipinas, kasama yung pamilya nila at dito sila magnegosyo. Even the freelancers na na-stuck na sa pagiging freelancer, na pagod na or ayaw nang sumubok magkaroon or mapag-establish ng sarili nilang business. And later tonight, I will be sharing on how we can really make this country world-class. So, the so-called First World Philippines. But before that, let me just share a story, no? So, actually, back in 2022, meron akong notes sa cellphone. Kasi way back, even nung bata pa ako, mahilig talaga ako magsulat. Mahilig ako notes sa notebook ko, sa kamay ko. If there are things that I want to remember, sinusulat ko yun sa kamay ko. Actually, nung bata pa ako, initials lang yung sinusulat ko. Like, first letter lang, or for things yung kailangan ko tandaan, 4 letters lang yung susulat ko sa kamay ko. But, you know, as we get older, medyo makalimot na tayo. So, binubuo na natin yung mga notes natin. And as I review my notes, bigla ko nakita yung notes ko about a book. So, yung book na yun is plano ko siyang isulat. And since medyo limot ko na din yung content niya, nung binasa ko, nagulat ako. Kasi 2022 pa lang pala. Gusto ko na talaga yung niche na ginagawa ko dito sa podcast na to. And for the context din naman, kasi for the longest time, marami na rin tayong mga nakausap na mga empleyado. Kasi since matagal tayong empleyado, and then meron akong community na kung saan meron akong mga nakausap na mga young adults, mga young professionals, mga youth. And in this community, I get to experience to lead these people and really guiding them in their careers. So that dun sa guidance ko bilang kuya is ma-avoid na nila yung mistakes nila. And at the same time, ma-fast track yung success, yung mga pangarap na gusto nilang abutin. Hindi ko talaga inasahan na nasulat ko na pala tong content na to way back. In a form of book sana, no? Kaya nung nag-start ako nitong podcast na to, tapos biglang nakita ko yung notes ko, parang mas na-confirm mas naging madali, mas naging komportable ang lahat. Dahil matagal na pala akong nire-ready for this. Ako lang yung hindi nag-take action kaagad. And I believe there's always timing. And I believe this is the perfect time that I have to start this because I've been prepared for this. And pine-prepare pala talaga ako para sa mission ko na to. And before we continue, I actually wanted to share yung Bible reading ko this morning. And this story that I wanted to share real quick is about Moses in the burning bush. So yung calling of Moses. So ito yung sa Exodus 3 and 4. Pero dito na tayo sa chapter 4 para papasadaan lang natin na mabilis. Actually, remember, so yung story na to is yung time na tinawag ni Lord si Moses to save Israel out of Egypt. Alam nyo na yung story na to, pamilyar na kayo kung napanood yung 10 Commandments sa mahal na araw o nakita nyo sa YouTube. So very na tong historical tong kwento na to, no? So I remember back then this story, yung si Moses actually siya, no? Doubter siya, no? Tinawag siya ni Lord hindi dahil magaling siya, hindi dahil marunong siya. Tinawag siya ni Lord kasi pinili siya regardless. And kung matatandaan niyo dun sa story, 3 beses siyang pinakitaan ni Lord ng miracle, no? So una dun yung staff niya, yung tungkod niya, ginawang snake. Tapos pangalawa yung kamay niya, nilagyan ng ketong. Tapos pinagaling din agad. Tapos yung pangatlo is yung tubig sa Nile River, pag nilagay niya sa ground, magiging blood. So imagine those 3 miracles na pinakita ni Lord kay Moses. Despite those miracles, nag-reason out pa rin siya. Lagi niya sinasabi ni Moses na hindi ako magaling magsalita, hindi ako ready for this. Parang takot siya. So yun yung story niya, umiikot dun sa chapter 3, no? And then, laging sinabi na nga sa kanya ni Lord, sino pa gumawa ng bibig mo? Sabi ni Lord, sasamahan kita, tuturo ko sa iyo mga sasabihin mo. And yet, sabi pa rin ni Moses, iba na lang, wag na ako. Pero since, again, like I said, hindi dahil sa deserve ni Moses, hindi dahil sa kung ano yung kakayahan niya, kasi pinili siya. And merong plano ang Lord sa buhay ni Moses na kailangang mangyari. But imagine this, no? Ganun na yung sinabi ni Lord sa kanya, pero nag-reason out pa rin siya. Tapos medyo na, kung mababasa niyo doon, medyo nagalit si Lord sa kanya. Basta ang naging bottom line is, sige, tawagin mo na yung kapatid mong si Aaron. So si Aaron, yung kapatid niya, is magaling magsalita, marunong. So madaling sabi, para matupad yung purpose ni Lord sa Israel, yung paglabas ng Israel sa Egypt, regardless kung ready siya o hindi, tinuloy pa rin. Pero buti na lang, despite that, sumunod pa din si Moses. 'Di ba? Parang inutusan doon ni Lord na i-meet mo na lang si Aaron, tapos ganun din inutusan ni Lord si Aaron na i-meet niya si Moses, no? So minsan ganun tayo sa buhay natin, no? Minsan ipinakita na lahat ng sitwasyon, ng experience, ng mga nangyayari sa buhay natin. But most of the time, ang initial reaction ng tao is to doubt. Takot, mag-doubt, without even trying. Buti nga si Moses sumunod pa rin Kasi nga, kailangan matupad ang plano ng Diyos sa buhay ni Moses, sa buhay ng Israelites. So tayo minsan sa buhay natin, very obvious na yung mga nangyayari. Pero sometimes we tend to, alam mo yun, parang pinanghihinaan ka agad ng loob without even trying. Ikaw, kailan mo ba huling sinunod yung tibok ng puso mo? Hindi usapang pag-ibig to, ha? Usapang buhay to. Usapang plano. Usapang purpose. Kasi mostly, even the people in the community that I have, no? Nakakalungkot isipin na minsan very evident na yung path mo, hahakbangan mo na lang. Yun na yung term hahakbangan mo na lang, naka-ready na lahat. Bakit hindi mo pa magawa? Bakit hindi pa nila nagagawa? Which is, I can say, I've been there. And that's the reason why I'm helping these people na mas-skip nila yung part na yun. Not to a point na hindi nila gawin, but to have someone to guide them to really walk over that path. Kasi you really wouldn't know kung hindi mo siya susubukan, di ba? So, hindi mo talaga malalaman yung isang bagay kung hindi mo siya susubukan. That's why I'm speaking to you, aspiring entrepreneurs, OFWs, freelancers, or long-time employees na very clear na yung nangyayari sa buhay mo. Or probably hindi pa ganun ka-clear. Pero meron kang pangarap, meron kang gustong gawin. Pero until now, hindi ka pa rin nagte-take action. Well, I am here. This community that I'm building is here to really help you to take a leap of faith. That's the exact thing that happened to me, no? So, I can say na I was like Moses. Kasi imagine, for the context din matagal ako empleyado. Pero high school pa lang ako, pangarap ko ng maging negosyante. Pangarap ko ng magkaroon ng sariling business. Kasi nag-work ako before sa mga relatives ko. Doon ko na-experience na gusto ko rin ng business. Kaya even though gusto ko na talaga mag-business that time, dahil wala akong guidance, wala akong mentor, hindi tayo learner pa, hindi pa tayo, kulang pa yung karanasan natin or probably may takot pa tayo, it actually delayed me to start my own business. Pero I believe that delay is always God's time. Hindi yung delay. Sa mundong aspeto, yes. In a worldly view, yes, it may be a delay. Pero sa plano ng Lord, it's just the right time. So, isa yun sa reason ng podcast na to really help you realize or probably someone to guide you like Moses who was guided by the Lord na meron kang dapat gawin, meron kang kailangan gawin. Huwag kang pangunahan ng takot. Kasi yung kasama mo, Diyos na mismo. So, tayo bilang mga negosyante, yung community natin mga negosyante, kami yung magiging guide mo. So that when you start, definitely you will become like Aaron. Si Aaron na palaban, confident, marunong mangusap. I'm sure Aaron started din as mahiyain, doubter, may fear. Pero when you start doing something, that's when big changes easily comes your way. But if you don't do anything, then tayo mahirapan. That's why this podcast is really to help you bridge that gap. Kasi totoo naman, hindi siya ganun kadali. Lalo na kung gaya ko, walang mentor, walang guide, walang gumagabay. So, it's very hard. But nowadays, the technology is super overwhelming in a way. Kasi lahat andyan isusubo na sa'yo ngunguyain mo na lang. So, what's the point of you not trying or being left behind? Andyan na lahat ng available resources na pwede mo makuha. Imagine, ako, I can say, nag-start ako ng hindi pa ganun kasustansya ang YouTube, no? And I started with the book then and walang mentor, more on sariling sikap, sariling aral. Pero hindi pa ganun ka dami yung resources. Kailangan lang maging resourceful ka. So paano nga ba natin ma-achieve yung first world Philippines na pangarap natin, pangarap ng mga negosyante, pangarap ng maraming Pilipino na tayong mga Pilipino ay alam nating world class tayo kahit saang bahagi ng mundo. May Pilipino. Tayo ay kilala bilang hospitable, hard worker, masisipag, maasahan. So, why not we as Filipinos have that kind of mindset, have that kind of dream of becoming a first world country na tayo, mga employee na natin, mga ibang nationality na, ibang lahi yung mga employees natin. So, I know it's nangyayari na yon sa ibang panig ng mundo, sa Dubai, may mga napanood tayong video ni Boss RDR na mga negosyanteng Pinoy na mga empleyado nila is mixed culture, no? Iba-ibang nation. May mga empleyado na sa iba-ibang. So how can we normalize this, no? Gusto natin siyang ma-normalize kasi yes, it's about mindset, but bago mabago kasi yung mindset, medyo kailangan mo talagang i-workout yan. And that's why we are helping here, me as an employee before and now an entrepreneur and may pangarap na maging first world Philippines ang ating bansa. So gusto nating ma-achieve yun in our lifetime. So for our next generation of leaders. So ano nga ba? Ano nga ba yung paano nga ba magiging first world country ang ating bansa? So I'll be sharing 7 things, no? Very quick lang naman to. So at least you have an idea. So paano nga ba magiging world class? Paano magiging first world Philippines ang isang bansa? Sa mga nangyayari sa bansa natin, alam natin malapit na ang eleksyon, maraming mga tumatakbo sa posisyon, but hindi natin pag-usapan masyado yung bagay na yun. Yes, they can probably help, pero in reality, etong mga negosyante, mga ethical entrepreneurs talaga, ang mga taong magiging susi, ang magiging key para ma-achieve natin yung pangarap nating lahat. Mga negosyante, mga ethical na negosyante ang kailangan natin to really achieve our ultimate dream of becoming first world Philippines. So, bakit ethical entrepreneurs? Kasi, syempre, alam natin meron dyan mga hindi ethical. They do things to make money, not really to contribute to the mission. So, that's why we are building a community of ethical entrepreneurs so that we can help a step closer towards our goal. So ano ba yung 7 na to? So, papasadahan natin na mabilisan, no? So, number one is, of course, paano nga ba nakakatulong itong 7 bagay na to para ma-achieve natin yung First World Philippines? So, number one is job creation. Very obvious naman to, no? So, pag mas maraming trabaho, mas maraming, sabihin na maraming business, maraming businesses, and pag mas maraming business, mas maraming job opportunity. Maraming jobs for the community and for the people. So, that's number one. And number two, innovation. So, dyan nagkakaroon ng mga new ideas, new products, new solutions to make your life better, and laging may innovation eh. Yung mga lumang produkto, unti-unting napapalitan ng mas bago at mas better. And number three is economic growth. Ito, businesses drives sales. Taxes, investments, that strengthens the country's income. Ulitin ko, no? Ang economic growth, ang factor nun is nagdadrive siya ng sales, taxes, and investments that strengthen the country's income. So, pinalalakas niya yung income ng isang bansa that contributes to the economic growth of a country. So, number four is boosting other industries. So, syempre ganun, di ba, sa business. Isang business, hindi lang naman, may business ka, hindi lang isang product yan eh. Syempre, sa isang product, may packaging yan, may label yan. So, iba-iba. So, maraming siyang kasama. So, entrepreneurs create demand for suppliers, for logistics, for marketing. So, nagbo-boost siya ng industry. Kumbaga, lahat na hikinabang. Iba-ibang industries. Kasi nga, sa isang product mo, hindi lang isang industry yan. Marami kang mga matatap na iba-ibang negosyante din. Which really helps yung cycle na economy. So, number five is inspiring a growth mindset. Ito, very important to, no? Kasi itong reality, no? Pag nag-start ka mag-business, this can be your best teacher. Yes, I said it. Pag nag-start ka ng business, this can be your best teacher. Anything na natutunan mo sa school, more likely pag nag-start ka ng business, very minimal lang yung may apply mo doon. Siguro math, accounting, English, pero the rest hindi masyado. Like history, depende kung medyo connected yung business mo sa history. Pero yung mindset, yung nag-start ka ng business mo ng sarili, actually, I can say that's the best way to really grow as a person, to really grow as an individual, as a business owner, pag nag-start ka ng small business mo. Kasi yung probably alam mong isang skill, pag nag-start ka ng business, isa lang yun sa skills na kailangan mo para doon sa business mo. Marami kang skills na kailangan matutunan sa isang negosyo. So, halimbawa, barbero ka, hindi pwedeng pagbugupit lang yung alam mo. Kailangan mo matutunan ng marketing, sales, diba? Kailangan mo matutunan ng social media marketing, kailangan mo matutunan ng iba-ibang means, Lord. So, yun yung nag-inspire ng growth sa isang negosyante pag nag-start ka ng negosyo. That's why this podcast is really to help you jump from an employee, from an OFW, from a long-time employee or freelancer to really start a business kasi doon mo makikita yung totoong laban. And once you enter that game, hindi ka magsisisi. Kasi talagang mag-grow ka. Lalo na kung pera mo na yung nakapusta, pera mo na yung nakataya sa puhunan ng business mo, hindi malaki. Pero dahil ikaw na mismo yung nag-jump doon, gagaling ka. Forcefully gagaling ka kasi pera mo na yung nakasalalay doon. Number 6 is, of course, solving problems. We are solving problems. We as business owners, we solve problems, social enterprises, address health, education, environmental issues. So, every business is a solution solver talaga. Yung mga entrepreneurs, they solve problems. So, that's why it contributes to the overall economy of the country. So, and lastly is yung expanding global reach. So, sample, meron tayong mga for exports na product. Siyempre, pag nag-export tayo ng products, may mga pumapasok na mga dollars sa atin or ibang currency. So, that's how the economy works, no? So, pag mas marami tayong na-export kaysa sa import, mas better yun. Kasi, as we export, may maraming pumapasok na mga dollars sa ating bansa. And successful entrepreneurs put their country on the world map through exports and partnership. So yan, aside from export, partnership, siyempre tayong mga Pinoy, meron tayong mga nagiging partner na foreigners, mga foreign investors, which really, nagpapasok ng pera, like mga BPO, mga call center. Yun yung mga bagay na nakatulong to make this country really a first world Philippines. So actually, this is the tagline of entrepreneurs din, ano. Sabi nga, entrepreneurs don't just build businesses. They build nations. Ulitin ko, no? Entrepreneurs don't just build businesses, they build nations. And that is very true. That's why kaming mga negosyante, mas kailangan pa natin mas maraming negosyante. Ethical business owners. Kasi tayo lang talaga. In our generation, hopefully in our lifetime, to be able to reach that ultimate dream of becoming first world Philippines. Imagine, pag sinabing first world, parang una kagad natin isip dyan, US, Japan, minsan Korea, Singapore. So, sumagi ba sa isip mo na one day, Philippines naman yun nandyan. Sarap isipin, di ba? And that's the movement of this podcast. You, as business owner, your future cause, First World Philippines, yung business mo is the vehicle to the movement that we are promoting here in this podcast. So, we are raising the bar here, no? Kasi only we, ethical business owners, can really contribute to make Philippines a first world country. So, kung excited ka sa movement na to, tara, talon ka na. Simulan mo yung matagal mo ng pangarap. Kasi I'm sure meron ka ng pangarap. Pero until now, napipigilan ka pa rin ng takot, ng doubt. And it's okay. That's a normal reaction. But if you start something, definitely may fire na mag-iignite sa'yo. And I'm sure when you do something that you love or you're passionate about or you dream about, iba yung feeling nun. Iba yung pakiramdam na nagagawa mo yung gusto mo. Kumikita ka man dito kaagad o hindi, pero at least you did something that you know that you love, you know that you will grow. It's really an irreplaceable feeling talaga. So to end this episode, I just want to remind you, no, na there's always hope. There's always a way. Kaya kung meron kang alam sa mga bagay-bagay, probably yan na yung business mo. So ito nga, ano. So before I end this podcast, I want you to remember this, that it's better to know a few things and doing it than knowing a lot of things and do nothing about it. Again, thank you for listening to this podcast. I hope I added value to you. Again, if you have friends and relatives who need to hear this kind of content, please don't forget to comment their names. You can just share and subscribe to this channel and para mas marami tayong ma-reach sa ating movement. And again, this is Ferdinand Nanesa, your FN Station podcast host. Always remember that God loves you. God bless you. See you on my next episode.